Welcome to Sports Betting Top Picks and Plays. This is for Tuesday, February the 18th. My name's Abby. We're just here to discuss with you a slate of college basketball games for the college basketball edition. The first game is 7 o'clock tonight. It's Ohio at home versus Central Michigan. This one here, Ohio 5.5. Total is. This is at the name of the site here for the line moves, over-unders, injury report. It's oddslogic.com. They have all the updated information up to the line movements for the point spread and the over-unders. And of course the injury report. So again, it's 5.5 Ohio, Central Michigan on the road, total 152. It's now come all the way down. We're seeing actually mainly 4.5s on the board. Mainly 4.5, and it's 153. That's where it is right now. So we'll look into this game further. And we're even seeing a 154 at FanDuel. It's going to 154. So it's heading in that direction. Ohio's getting all the money right now. So Ohio's getting the money. And the public likes the over in this game. They're over the total. Let's get another perspective. Yeah, the public's on the over 154. I do have a play on this game for sure. Let's look into this one. This is Ohio at Central Michigan. So we'll look in this game here. That's a 7 o'clock start. So we're going to look at the matchup history to see if these guys have played before this season. And they had played. They played last month in Central Michigan. They were 4-point favorites. Actually, Ohio was 4-point favorites on the road at Central Michigan. Central Michigan covered, but Ohio won 57-55. And the total at that time was 149. It was under the total. Apparently, they have gone. The series has been 3 straight unders in this series. 3 straight unders. They've gone. 3 straight unders. Again, 3-7 to the under, and 3-7 against the spread. So Ohio's won. They've beaten this team 9 straight times. Beat them 9 straight times. And this game is in Ohio. Yeah, they've beaten them 9 straight times. And they've covered it, and every time they've covered the spread against these guys. Central Michigan, 5-5 last 10 games, 5-4-1 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. So Central Michigan's lost 2 straight games. They are 2-3 last 5 games, 5-0 to the over. And they've been covering on the road. They've covered their last 3 games on the road actually the last 2 games they've covered as an underdog. One on the road at Kent and one on the road. One on the road at Kent and one at home versus Akron. So they have done well so far as a road underdog so far. Ohio's 4-6 last 10, 6-4 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. So 2-3 last 5 games, and 3-2 to the over. So both teams are playing to the over. Ohio covered at home against Western Michigan. They didn't cover 4.5 against Appalachian State. Yeah, the only way I can look in this game is the over 159.5. Both teams right now are playing currently to the over. Although the first game went under, and they went under in the last 3 meetings, I believe this one's going to go over. This is going to be a different type of game, and it indicates here that it's going to go over because the first game, when they played January, it was 149. Now it's at 153.5. So it's gone up by about 5 points. So that's a second reason why I like the over. And again, the first reason, like I mentioned earlier, both teams are playing to the over in their last 5 games. So that's a play I like. I definitely like the I definitely like the over in this game. That's Central Michigan, Ohio. All right, so the next game we're going to look at will be, let's look here. We'll take a look at Purdue at Michigan. Michigan State, excuse me. Michigan State at home versus Purdue. Totals 148.5. And it's 3.5 Michigan State. Right now we're looking at 149 are coming up. Let's see here. Yeah, it's -3, 3.5. That's what we're seeing right now. It's come down to 3 a bit, but still 3.5 on the board still. Purdue's getting all the money right now, as you can see. The public's on Purdue in this game. And they're on the under 149. Not sure why, but they're on the under. And they like Purdue plus 3.5. So we're definitely going to look into this game some more. We'll take a look at it. I believe they have played already. Let's just double check here. We'll take a look at the game here. Purdue, Michigan. Actually, no, this is the first meeting. First time they're playing this year. So Purdue, 7-3 last 10 games, 7-3 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. Purdue's last 2 straight games. But they're 3-2 the last 5 games. They're an underdog for the second time in a row. They were an underdog at Michigan, covered but lost. They were underdog at Oregon, covered and won. So they're 1-1 as an they're basically covering the spread 0-2 as an underdog. I'm sorry, excuse me, 2-0 as an underdog on the road. Excuse me. So Michigan State, meanwhile, and their last 5, the over/under, they are 4-1 to the over. Meanwhile, Michigan State, 7-3 last 10, 5-4-1 against the spread, 4-6 to the under. So this one, they are 2-3 last 5 games, and are 1-4 to the under. That's Michigan State. Well, Michigan State, they haven't really covered at home. Let's see here. They covered Oregon at home, but that was a non-conference game. Non-conference. But against a conference opponent, they covered Minnesota at home, -14. Covered Illinois at home, -1. I like Purdue in this game. Actually, yeah, I like Purdue here. I think Purdue's capable of covering the 3.5. They are 2-0. I like them because they are 2-0 on the road in conference play, covering as an underdog. So they have played well on the road, 2-0 on the road. Again, one of the games that they covered was a non-conference against Oregon, and the other one was at Michigan, and it was basically in conference. That's the difference here. And so this is the second time they're underdog here. But I like Purdue here. I like them on the points. For the total, let me look here for the total. It's 148. So let's see. I'm gonna pass on the total. I'm gonna take Purdue plus 3.5. I like them here to cover the points. So for me, yeah, Purdue. Yeah, definitely Purdue plus 3.5. I like Purdue here plus 3.5. Yeah, Purdue plus 3.5 for me. I like that. I like that one. That's my play there. The next game we're gonna look at. Let's see. We're going to look at Texas A&M versus Mississippi State. This one is -3. Mississippi State, total 143.5. This one has gone all the way up to 145 and it's gone to 2. At 145 minus 2. So take a look at this game here. So the money you see here is on Texas A&M. The money's on A&M, and I agree with it. I agree with that move. And the money's on the over as well in this game. Money's definitely on the over. So look into this one further. Yeah, we'll look into this game. Yeah, we'll look into this one. That's A&M versus Mississippi State. Look into this one here. This is the first time they're meeting this season, so again, A&M overall 7-3 last 10 games, 4-5-1 against the spread, 2-8 to the under in this game. So they have won 5 straight games and are 1-4 to the under in this game here. So that's A&M, Mississippi State 2.5-point favorites. Let's see here. And 1-4 to the under in this game. 5 straight wins for A&M. Now they're an underdog on the road. On the road, basically they're 3-0 as an underdog on the road. So that's pretty impressive. And all 3 times as an underdog on the road, they have gone under the total, which is interesting. Actually, 3-1 as an underdog on the road. 3-1, but they've gone under each time. 0-4 to the under on the road against conference play. Mississippi State 4-6 last 10, 2-8 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. They are 2-3 last 5 games and are 4-1 to the over in this game here. Let's see here. This game here. This one is at 143. Yeah, I'm definitely going with A&M here. I don't have a play on the total, but I like A&M on the points. A&M plus I believe they showed plus 2.5. It's showing plus 2 now, but I like A&M on the points. I do like him here. Plus, if it's gone down to 2, I'll still take A&M. I like A&M here on the point. I like A&M plus 2. Like I said, they've done pretty. I would lean to the under if I had to play it. I would take the under. I would disagree with the public a little bit on the over because they're 0-4 to the under the last 4 road games in against the divisional opponents. 3-1 as an underdog on the road. So I like A&M. But I like A&M more in the points, but I would lean under at the same time. So we'll look at the. So that's the A&M game. A&M, Texas. A&M. That's the A&M game. So the next game we're going to look at here will be. Let's take a look. Texas Tech versus TCU. This is an 8 o'clock game. This one here opened up 7.5. Texas Tech. Total 139.5. Right now it's gone all the way down to let's see here. It's come all the way down to 7. It's come down to 7. I saw a 6.5, but it looks like it's coming down to 7. 7 across the board, and it's 141. The total's gone up to 141. But Texas Tech is getting the money so far. The public's on Texas Tech right now as we speak. Yeah, Texas Tech, they're definitely getting the money here. Let me see this. Let me see the 6.5. Yeah, it's 7 right now. So yeah, Texas Tech's definitely getting the money here. It looks like. So everybody's on the Texas Tech. That's an interesting move. We'll look into this one further. Texas Tech. We'll look at this Texas Tech game here. Texas Tech TCU. All right, so they've already played. They played last month, about 2 weeks ago. They played at Texas Tech. Texas Tech was an 11.5-point favorite. Texas Tech won and covered 71-57, and it went under the total 135. This one's gone up to 141. Texas Tech last 10 games, 9-1 last 10, 6-4 against the spread, 4-6 to the under. So they have won 2 straight games, Texas Tech. They won on the road at Oklahoma State, won against Arizona State, but it's at home, but it stayed, they didn't cover the 16 points when they were favored. But they've covered 4 out of 5 games. They're 4-1 last 5 games. And they are 3-2 to the over. That's Texas Tech. So they have covered on the road. They are basically on the road as a favorite on the road. They are 2-2. I would say 2-2 on the road, basically. Texas Christian. 5-5 last 10 games, 4-6 against the spread, 3-7 to the under. Texas Christian, they've also won 2 straight games. What they haven't covered as a favorite at home in the 2-game winning streak, but they haven't gone over twice. 4-1 last 5 games, 2-3 to the under. 3-2 to the over. Texas Tech 2-3 to the under. TCU 4-1 last 5 games. TCU. So they have covered at home against West Virginia as a 1.5-point favorite, and covered Colorado -6 at home. So they've covered 2 games. They've covered twice at home. So overall, I'd say as a favorite at home, 2-2 at home as a favorite. Everybody's on Texas Tech in this one. Let's see. This one's interesting. Let me look at this line again. Let me take one more look at this line. Yeah, okay, but TCU had the money, then Texas Tech's got it now. Yeah, the only way I can lean in this game, the only way I can go in this game, let me look at this one more time, but the only way I can lean, yeah, the only way I can look at this game, let me take a look at this one more time. I would look at the over, and I would lean to TCU. I lean TCU on the points, but I like the over more. Over 141.5. I like the over more. I know the first game that they played, I believe it went under. Yeah, the first game that they played went under. But I think the second game goes over. When it's in the 140s, I think it's going to go over. This one's going to go over. It's trending to the over anyway. It's going in that direction. So I like the over, 141.5. And I lean TCU. That's just a lean. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less for that game. So the next game we're going to look at here. Next game will be, let's look here. We'll look at Butler and Xavier. This one is 8 p.m. starts. This one's 7.5 Xavier. 153 open. That's the opening line for that's the Xavier Butler game. Total 153. Right now, they're seeing 151.5. 153, 152.5, 151.5. That's what we're seeing right now. 151.5. And it's come down to -7. Although I'm seeing I just saw a 6.5. We'll look into that further though. We'll check that out. Money's coming in on Xavier. Public like Xavier in this one. And they like the over. That's Xavier Butler. Let's check this one. This is 8 o'clock start. Xavier Butler. So look at this one here a little bit. Xavier Butler. See this one here. Xavier Butler. Let's look at that one. This is interesting, but we'll look into this further. We'll take a look at it. That's 8 o'clock starts. So look at the head-to-head. First time they're playing. They have not played before this year. So Butler first 5-5 last 10 games, 5-5 against the spread, 9-1 to the over. Butler 3-2 last 5 games. So Butler has won 3 straight games, but they're 3-2 last 5, and 4-1 to the over. That's Butler. Yeah, so they're again at the 152 range now. We'll look at the other team, Xavier, 7-3 last 10, 6-4 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. They've won 2 straight games, 1-2. They've covered 2 straight, and they're 3-2 to the 3-2 last 5 games, and they are 5-0 to the over. Yeah, the only way I can play this game, I have to look. I know the last 2 meetings have gone under in this game, but I feel with the current form that both teams are in right now, regarding the current form that both teams are in, I have to play the over here. Yeah, I gotta play the. I know it's come down a bit to the under. I see that, but for me, I'm gonna play the over just based on the current form that these teams are in. Let me look at this further here. Yeah, I'm gonna bet the over. I like the over in this game. I agree with the public with the over. Both teams, like I said, are playing to the over, so I like the over in this game. I don't know why they're indicating under, but I like the over. My money's on the over in this game. All right, so let's see. Yep. All right, so the next game we're going to look at here. This is the next game. It will be Air Force at Wyoming. Wyoming open up +10, total 129. Right now it's gone down to 8.5, and it's going to 131. Yeah, 131 across the board, 8.5. So money on Air Force in this game, public all over Air Force, and the over. They like the over in this game, over 131.5. 1. You like the over. So look into this one further. That's a 8:30 start. We'll definitely look into this game here. So both these teams played last month in Air Force. Wyoming was favored on the road, -3 at Air Force. Wyoming won 70-65 and went over the total 129. So it's gone up by 0.130 or 131 wherever you look. Air Force right now 0-10 last 10 games. They've lost 10 straight games, 2-8 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Yeah, they've lost a bunch of games, but they're 4-1 to the over, but their defense is horrible. Wyoming, meanwhile, 2-8 last 10 games, 5-5 against the spread, 4-6 to the under. Wyoming themselves, they have lost 5 straight games, and they are 1-4 to the under. Now you're asking them to lay 8.5. They did cover Fresno. They did cover Fresno State at 8.5 a few weeks ago at home. So they have covered it. They have covered an 8.5 point spread before. They're capable of doing it. Let's see this. Let me see Wyoming here. Yeah, my take in this game is I'm gonna take. I like Air Force. I like Air Force in the points plus the 8.5, and I like the. I like even more the over. I like the over more in this game. Over 130.5. Air Force in Wyoming. Over 130.5. I lean Air Force plus the points plus the 8.5. I don't trust Wyoming as a favorite covering. I know they've covered before. But in this particular meeting, head-to-head, the games have been pretty close. I mean, this game here is in Wyoming. Wyoming covered the last couple of games. They have covered. And they've beaten this team 3 straight times. Wyoming has San Diego State next. I don't think this is a look-ahead spot because they've lost a bunch of games. So I think they got to win this game. But I like Air Force because I like Air Force to cover. They've lost a bunch of games. They haven't covered. But I feel in this game that I just feel that their backs are against the wall, and it's close to March Madness, and I think they're gonna stay within the 8.5. But I like even more the over. That's the Air Force game is a lean. That's just a lean. I like the over in this game, 131.5. Sorry, excuse me, 130.5. Over 130.5. Sorry, I like that. I like that play more. Next game we're gonna look at here is gonna be, let's see, Illinois at Wisconsin. Illinois at Wisconsin, that's the 8:30 start. This one's 3.5. Wisconsin, total 161. Right now we're seeing a 4. It's gone to 4. So 160. Let me go back here. I apologize. So we do see a 4 here. Yeah, we see a 4 on the board. We'll look into this game more. That's Illinois, Wisconsin. So Wisconsin's getting the money here at -4. They're getting the money. Public is on the under in this game. Under. A whole bunch of under money in this game. Let's see. Yeah, the total hasn't really moved that much. It's been pretty stagnant, so I can see why they like the under. I can understand that. Let me look further to see if I agree or not. Let's look at this one here. Let's look into this one. Another 8:30 start. We're going to look at it. All right, so head-to-head. They did play in December, early in the season, last year, December, in Illinois. Illinois was a 6.5-point favorite. Wisconsin covered and they covered, but they lost the game 86-80, and the total was at that time was 153 at that time. So Wisconsin, so they've beaten up Illinois. Oh, they haven't beaten Illinois in about almost 6 years. Illinois has beaten Wisconsin in 6 years. That's how bad it, that's pretty alarming. It's been a long time. 6 years is a long time to not beat a team. Illinois overall 5-5 last 10, 4-6 against the spread, 6-4 to the over in this game. 3-2 last 5 games. Illinois 3-2 to the over. So Illinois an underdog. This is the second time they're an underdog. The last time they were an underdog, they lost as a 1-point dog at Michigan. They lost by 2 points, but it was close, and it went under. For the Wisconsin side, 8-2 last 10 games. 8-2 against the spread, 4-6 to the under. Wisconsin's won 4 in a row. 3 of the 4 wins have come on the road. They've covered at Northwestern, at Iowa, and at Purdue. I mean, they were a favorite. Two out of the 4 games they were favorites. They were 2-0 as a favorite on the road in the last 4 games, and 2-1 as a favorite. 2-0 as a favorite in the last 2 games on the road for the 4-game win streak. And Indiana, they covered Indiana -9. They covered Nebraska at home -7.5. So they're 3-1 at home as a favorite. Wisconsin, they played well. They played very well. The total 2-3 to the under. I gotta say. So again, Illinois, like I said, Illinois has played Wisconsin really tight. They played them to the wire, basically. So it feels like one of those kind of games again, 3.5, 3. Illinois has played these guys tight. Let's look at Illinois here. They got Duke next. They've beaten Duke already. They already beat Duke. Wisconsin. They have Oregon. Yeah, I'm gonna take Illinois in this game. I like Illinois and the points. I gotta take Illinois here. They basically have dominated and owned Wisconsin. I know Wisconsin's on a little hot streak. They're playing well right now, but I gotta go with Illinois. I gotta take Illinois to cover the points at the 3.8. I gotta take Illinois plus the 3.5. I like him here a lot. And the first game went over. The second game's at 161. Let me look at the total again. They're saying under this one. Under 161. Yeah, I do agree with that. It's trending to this. It's actually trending to the under. So I do agree with that. This is actually trending to the under. So I agree with the public here. I'm gonna take the under 161.5. So I like that a lot. Let's see here. I know the last 3 games have gone over, but I like the under here. I agree with the public. But yeah, I agree with the public here on that. So again, it's Illinois. Let's see. Next game we're going to look at here on the college basketball slate, we are going to look at Let's take a look. Let's see here. Let's take a look at this. We're going to go with LSU. I'm sorry. We're going to go with Houston and at Arizona State. 11.5 point favorites. That opened up at total 134.5. It's gone to 12 now. So we're seeing 12s. The total hasn't moved. Still 134. It hasn't really moved, which is yeah. It's pretty stagnant. 134.5. Let's see. Yeah, it's still at 134.5. Let's see here. They're definitely going to take a look at this one. Oops, the wrong one. Sorry. This should be it here. Okay, so Houston is getting all the public money, no surprise, against Arizona State. And the over is looking promising. Over 134 seems to be a play. We'll look at this game further. Houston, Arizona State. We'll look at this one. Nine o'clock matchup. First meeting of the first time they're playing each other. Houston 9-1 last 10 games. They've won 4 straight games, Houston, and are 3-1 to the over. Houston covered 9.5 at Baylor. They've covered 9.5 at home versus Baylor. Then they covered -2 at Arizona. Now they're 11.5, 12-point favorites. 4 straight wins. Let's see. Houston's next game. Let's see this one here. Let's see. So now we're going to look at Arizona State. 2-8 last 10 games, 4-6 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Arizona State's lost 5 straight games. They're 0-5 the last 5, but 5-0 to the over. On the road, they have covered 1, 2, 3. They're 4-1 on the road as an underdog, so they played very well as an underdog, Arizona State. But they're 5-0 to the over. They've gone over 5 straight times. I'm gonna take Arizona State in the points. I'm gonna take that Arizona State plus the 11.5. But my stronger play, I lean that way. It's just a lean. I believe Houston's going to be looking ahead to the game against Iowa State University. Remember, they lost these guys last year around this time, so they're looking ahead. In my opinion, I think they're looking ahead. But to me, they're looking ahead for sure. So I lean Arizona State, but I like the over more. I like the over more. Both teams are playing to the over, actually. Both teams are playing to the over, so I like the over in this game. That's the one I like more. 130. Let me get that right. 134.5. Yeah, I like the over. That's the Houston game. Yeah, I like that one. Next game we're going to look at here for college. Look at LSU, South Carolina. This one here, 2.5 LSU, total 139.5. It's still at 2.5. Yeah, it hasn't really moved. It's just strange. It's been really quiet, that one. Not much action. The only thing is the total ticked down to 139. That's it, but it hasn't really done anything. That's it. So we'll take a look at this now. Not a lot of movement on this game at all. It's been quiet. See a little bit here right now. LSU, looks like LSU is getting the money, 2.5. So we're going to take a look at this matchup. And this will be the last game that we're doing for the day, the last game that we're doing, LSU. This will be the last one. So here we are, this is a 9 o'clock start. So this is the first meeting of the season between these two teams. South Carolina have lost 10 straight games, 10 in a row. Out of the 10 games they've covered as an underdog, they've covered half their games. Like about 6 games they covered at least. They've covered 6 out of the 10 games as an underdog and are 3-2 to the over. South Carolina. LSU now 2-8 last 10, 5-5 against the spread, 5-5 to the over/under. LSU, they had lost 7 games in a row, so basically 1-4 last 5 games. This is in the last 5, and are 3-2 to the over. So both teams are playing to the over in terms of the side. LSU hasn't been favored as a favorite, so this is kind of strange. I would lean South Carolina in this game. Let me see something. I would lean South Carolina. It's just a lean. I'd lean South Carolina in this game. Like I said, I don't trust LSU in this spot to cover the 2.5. I would take South Carolina. South Carolina, I wouldn't touch the total. I'd take South Carolina on the points, in my opinion. I don't trust LSU here. This is a team I know South Carolina's lost 10 straight games, but they're playing hard and they're covering. They didn't cover their last 2 road games, but I do trust them here to cover this number here. I believe they cover the points. Like I said, I don't trust LSU just against them because they haven't been covering as a favorite at home. So that's why I like South Carolina to cover the points plus 2.5. Okay, so that's it for the college basketball show. Thank you for joining me. My name is Abby. Whether you fade or follow these picks, it's up to you. I just look at the games, make the plays, make the picks and the plays for the totals and over-unders as how I feel best for the game. But, however, I still hope you cash your tickets, whatever you do, fade or follow. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to get more of these college basketball plays. Right through till March Madness, Final Four. We're going to be giving you all daily picks and plays for college basketball. So hit the subscribe button and the like button so you can keep this show running. My name's Abby. Thank you very much for tuning in and joining me. Good luck to you guys. Stay true to yourself. Stay blessed. Stay humble. Believe in yourself. Peace.